Coming up on this week's episode of Hip Hop Now podcast, the nominations for the 60th Annual Grammy Awards has some interesting hip hop nods. Q-Tip spazzes on Instagram after feeling snubbed by no Grammy nominations. And 2017 was a pretty good year for hip hop. There's a lot to talk about.
Let's get right to the business.
Read these headlines. This album must be gone.
This album must be gone.
Classic albums are.
Classic albums are.
Come to Hip Hop Podcast.
What up, y'all? I am your host, Vegas, and this is Hip Hop Now Podcast Extra. A podcast designed to catch you up on all things hip hop, music, and culture that happened throughout the week. Please know that you can follow this podcast and subscribe to this podcast, like this podcast, comment on this podcast, wherever you may listen to podcasts, whether that be on your iOS or Android device. You can find Hip Hop Now podcasts on iTunes, Google Play Music, Stitcher Radio, and a host of other places. Basically, if you download a podcast app, even if it's not the official app of whatever phone or tablet platform you use, you can still hit that search button and catch this podcast, because I swear it is everywhere. But where does it reside? Where does it all stem from? SoundCloud.com/hip-hop. Right. Nope, my bad. SoundCloud. Let's try that again. SoundCloud.com/hip-hop now podcast. You can follow me on social media at Vegas World INC. And if you like Facebook, Facebook.com/hip-hop right now is where you can go. Hit that like button. Not only do I post this podcast there, but I also post things I find around the internet. For instance, Mace and Cameron decided to have a little battle that probably should have happened about 15 years ago. And it was very entertaining. I posted both of those records there. They're worth a listen. Trust me, there's some bars there, so don't sleep. But also I did a video of how I felt before they squashed it, or if they squashed it, because I watch some things now where I'm like, I don't know. Excuse me, but you can go there to Facebook.com/hip-hop right now and check that out. And you can also check out the video that I did. It's one to flow on video, just basically giving my thoughts on the whole battle between Mace and Cameron and how I felt and who I thought won and edged each other out. And, you know, you may be surprised, man, because I really felt some kind of way about it, like listening to it, coming off the heels of a previous podcast called The Matrix. But we got a lot to talk about today, so let's get right into the business. The 60th Annual Grammy Awards airs on January 28th, taking place in New York City in Madison Square Garden. I am very close, but I never went. And a quick disclaimer for those who, you know, right before we get into it, I don't watch award shows anymore. I used to watch them like crazy when I was younger. Like I had to watch them from beginning to end, no matter how long. And as the years have gone by, it's not just the Grammys. I'm talking about BET Awards, BET Hip Hop Awards, all of them. Because it started to, and look, I get it from an industry standpoint. If I was working in the record industry, I'm all for it. But as a person who likes to be entertained, and because we live in a on-demand microwave kind of society, I feel like I can't commit that time to watching advertisements for some albums that are really good and then some that are trash or some that just don't interest me. So I can watch 3 hours of sports instead, and I'll be very happy. So, and it could be a boring game, and I'll still be happy. But I'm just a big sports fan. So that's a disclaimer. I don't typically watch award shows, but obviously because of this podcast and because I have a general interest in where the industry is going and the trends and things of that nature, you know, I do want to know the results. I do want to know who's nominated because I like to see if it matches up what I feel. as a music lover and as a hip hop fan. So the nominations dropped recently, and hip hop is not just the hip hop categories, but just all throughout a lot of the categories. And I will give you a reason why. And we should know this. Hip hop is the number one streamed genre in the world, period, bar none, ahead of any other genre. Now, there may be particular artists who aren't hip hop artists who may be streamed a little bit more than other hip hop artists, but when you take all the hip hop artists together, and you know they throwing a couple of people in there who probably don't belong in there. Well, hip hop and R&B, let's say that, because I read this story in the past and it was hip hop and R&B. But when you clump all of that together, you know everybody's listening to it. Whether it be people who could really rap, or it could be mumble rap, or it's Chris Brown or whoever, or Drake or whoever it may be. That's what's going on right now. But let's get into where hip hop falls in some of these nominations. Now, album of the year, and this isn't a hip hop album of the year. This is album of the year overall. Childish Gambino, Awaken My Love, which we know really wasn't a hip hop album, but it was a dope album. Jay-Z's 444 was nominated for album of the year. Kendrick Lamar's Damn is also nominated. I'm only going to stick to the hip hop people in that category. But I'm going to say this because I think the dude is dope. Bruno Mars is also nominated for 24K Magic. Who do I think deserves it? I didn't hear all of Bruno Mars's album. I just heard the singles, and I love the singles. So I can't say he deserves the album. But if we just break that down to those three hip hop artists that were mentioned, I don't think Jay-Z deserves it. It's no slight against Hove. I don't think he deserves it, but I wouldn't be surprised if something along the lines of what happened with Denzel. Like when Denzel finally won an Oscar for Training Day, it was dope, and the movie was dope, and he was dope in it. But any fan knows that wasn't the one he deserved it for. You know, Malcolm X was the one he deserved it for. But that's how these things go. So we'll see. I think maybe this is a little my personal bias, but maybe between the rappers, I would take Kendrick over Jay-Z's album because there was just a little bit more to that. Maybe Childish Gambino will get it. I don't think so. I kind of think Bruno Mars might take that, but who knows? Record of the year. Again, this isn't strictly hip hop. This is complete the record of the year. Childish Gambino with Redbone. I think as much as we've heard it on the radio, it gotta get that. But it's not going to, basically, I don't even have to repeat the rest. Okay, Story of OJ, Jay-Z. It was dope. It's not the record of the year. Humble was dope. It's not the record of the year. 24K Magic by Bruno Mars. Yeah, I know this is a hip-hop podcast, but that should be the record of the year. That song just doesn't get old to me. I don't know. Maybe some people hate it. I don't. Song of the year also, and let's just keep it to the hip-hop because now Bruno Mars is all over my podcast, and I don't like it. because it's not hip hop. Jay-Z is nominated for Song of the Year for the song 444. I really like that record. I think mostly because of the beat. New artists. SZA, who's an R&B singer, is here, of course. But Lil Uzi Vert is nominated for New Artist of the Year. And I don't know the rest of these people, so I'm just keeping it to those related to hip-hop, and that's it. Let's see who else we got. This is a pop performance. Shout out to Hip Hop DX, where they got all these nominations listed, but we don't really care about the R&B, and you put the hip-hop first, fam. All right. Urban Contemporary Album. That's basically some alternative stuff, so Childish Gambino's there, SZA, yeah, R&B. Okay, here we go. Rap Performance of the Year. You know what I'm saying? So basically, this is kind of like the skills category, right? For the Grammys. Big Sean, Bounce Back. My mother loves that record. I think I hate it because she loves it, because I hear it so much. Uh, Cardi B with Bodak Yellow. Okay. Um, I like the. Don't get me wrong. I like the record, but okay. Performance though. Performance. Jay-Z 444. I like that record, but yeah, I guess so. I guess for the content. Kendrick Lamar's Humble. I wasn't excited for Humble when I first heard it. I thought it was cool. I thought it was catchy, but the video made me love it. And this isn't video of the year. And the last one is Migos featuring Lil Uzi Vert, Bad and Bougie. They might get that. And I'm not even saying they deserve it. It's between them and Cardi B. They may get that. If Migos wins that Grammy, no, if Cardi B wins that Grammy, even though I appreciate the way you look, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen on that stage? That's part of the reason why I don't watch. So it is rap/sung performance. That's basically a rapper and R&B artist. Let's see who we got down here. Slack, I guess that's what this is with Problems. I don't even know what that is. Gold Link featuring Brent, whoever, and Shy Gleazy. The Crew, yes, I'm being very disrespectful to the names, but I don't know who you are, fam. Family Feud, Jay-Z featuring Beyonce. I really like that record. That one might be a good look. Well, no, I just read the next one. Kendrick Lamar featuring Rihanna, Loyalty. I think that one's in the bag. I think Loyalty got that because that's another one of them songs that it just won't go away at some point. You know, you just keep hearing it. All right, rap song, best rap song. Now we're talking about lyrics and what was written, right? Jay-Z with The Story of OJ. That might win. That might win that category. Kendrick Lamar with Humble. What's here? Danger Mouse featuring Run the Jewels and Big Boy. I like that record. The joint called Chase Me. And Bodak Yellow for rap song. If you want to. Red bottom, these are bloody shoes. You know what? It's with that, again, I said I liked it. But what I like it for isn't performance. It isn't necessarily the lyrics. And maybe I'm saying the same thing and I don't understand what I'm saying, but I don't think it's those things that make that song hot to some people. I think it's the swagger behind the flow. You know what I'm saying? And the confidence in what she's saying. I think it's that. It's the cadence more than it's anything else. I don't know. You tell me, man. But I think maybe Story of OJ should probably get that one. All right, now we talking. Best rap album of the year. And this is one. Okay, wait. Let's save that for last because that segues into something else. Okay, music video of the year. And let's only talk about the hip-hop artists. The Story of OJ, again, with Jay-Z. Humble with Kendrick Lamar. I would go with Humble. That Jay-Z's video was dope for the record. I thought it was a dope idea, like, a throwback cartoon from like the 20s or something. And Jay-Z's character looks like a Sambo. Everybody looks like, the Sambo characters. I thought that was dope and cute. But Kendrick's video is really abstract, and I like stuff like that where I don't know what's going on. Like, I like the subliminal messages in the imagery. In Jay-Z's Story of OJ, there's really kind of one, and it's not bad because I'm saying this, but there's kind of one common thread in regards to that, and you see it, as soon as you see the animation, you already know what it is. With Kendrick's video, it's different scenes where it's like, why all of their heads on fire? Why he dressed like the Pope with the sunshine? You know what I'm saying? There's all these different things. So I thought that was just a better thought out, and like there's goodies in like if you like hip hop, you like knowing that not only do you get the first wave of the lyrics and the concept, but you watch a video, you're looking at the cover or whatever, and there's a deeper level than that. I like stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I think Kendrick will probably get the video joint as well. So maybe he get 2 or 3 Grammys, and Jay-Z maybe the same thing. But the main category for the Grammys, the ones that has the social medias and the internets and Q-Tip. Oh, well, all of this guy Q-Tip going crazy. But the one that everybody's talking about, best rap album of the year. And remember, when you're talking about best rap album of the year, the Grammys counts, like, for instance, somewhere in December. So even though some joints may have released in December of 2016, I believe it's December, maybe it's like late November into December 2016, they are counted towards the next year's categories or nominations. So, like, for instance, like Childish Gambino, to some people that feels like something that came out last year, but it didn't. Or like when they did it with J. Cole, where he released in, I believe, like in December or whatever. So, best rap albums of the year. Jay-Z's 44 is nominated. Kendrick Lamar's Damn. Migos Culture album. Rhapsody's, I always mess this up. Is this Layla's Wisdom? Laila's Wisdom? Somebody got to tell me. Or am I just, it's a word I know or a name I know and I've just never seen it before. So now it sounds crazy. But you know what I'm talking about. The Rhapsody album. And Tyler, the Creator's Flower Boy. What do I feel about this set or this lineup of rap albums? I feel like it's way better than it used to be when they had these rap album categories. It's way more tied in to what's going on and not just on the mainstream level. When I say what's going on, I mean, like, what are we as hip hop fans? What do we like? Now, I know there's some gutter under the gutter fans who's like, nah, why you ain't got, you know what I'm saying? Why you ain't got Griswelda Records on there or some. I'm just making an example, but you know what I mean, like under the underground, and maybe they had why Sean P in here, because it's not, man. It's when it comes to the Grammys, I think the music has to be a little bit more universal, not pop sellout or anything like that, because it doesn't have to be. They've had some more hip hop albums, but it has to be more variety in tones in your album. It can't just be boom bap from beginning to end and the rhymes you expect from beginning to end and then get recognized, because that doesn't stand out amongst everything. You know, that maybe your skill level stands out amongst boom bap, but it doesn't do anything else besides boom bap, whatever boom bap means. Well, who do I feel is going to win that? Well, look, who do I feel is going to win it and who deserves it? Two different things. Who do I feel is going to win it? I don't think Tyler's going to win it. I don't think Migos is going to win it. Kendrick Lamar seems like he'll probably win it. But giving it to Jay-Z feels like it's that time. You know what I'm saying? It feels like it's time for Jay-Z to get that. But, like I said on my Homie Kills podcast, I think they may just Chance the Rapper this category. When I say Chance the Rapper, remember I like Chance the Rapper. His album or his mixtape, Coloring Book, one of my top 5 of last year. Go check it. It was. But I feel like with Rhapsody, she may get that nod. Think about it, right? Think about it. Think about a lot what's going on. You know, and female leads finally got a Wonder Woman movie, got a woman who's the main hero in Star Wars. I'm a big Star Wars fan, so I had to mention that. All these things where women are rising up against these dudes who have touched them. I can't say all of it is true, but because I don't know, I wasn't there. But there's a woman's movement on the low, kind of on the low, but not on the low, kind of happening. You know, which it's cool. But in hip hop, women were kind of dormant. You know what I'm saying? Besides Nicki Minaj, and Nicki Minaj is everything that most women don't want themselves to be represented as. I'm sorry, Nicki, but it's true. If you just if you're basically half naked all the time, most women don't respect you. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it works. But she was always looked at as damn near the only female rapper there was, even though that wasn't true because there were plenty of other ones out there, including Rhapsody. But Rhapsody represents something that's on par with the males. She talks about relationships and not as a total, like, all I'm gonna do is woe is me about my relationships, but she talks about it from different angles. She even has bars where she's giving dudes advice. You know what I'm saying? And again, her album isn't about relationships. I think that's one of the things she's really good at. She doesn't alienate males or females when she talks about it, even if it's about her love life. Then she could spit. And she has some pretty solid production. So when I say the Chance the Rapper award or the Chance the Rapper treatment, I feel like they're going to try to make a statement. If she wins, it's about making a statement about hip hop, about not about hip hop, but about females in hip hop, but probably more importantly to people who will care about the money the Grammys makes. Make the statement that we do know what's really good out there in the hip hop world. This isn't the past where we didn't know. We nominated R&B artists, and R&B artists would always win the hip hop awards, and or the most commercialist rapper you can think of would win the hip hop award when, like Vanilla Ice. I believe Vanilla Ice won. He might have won a Grammy or something like that. But for example, somebody like Vanilla Ice winning an award when Rakim is dropping classics. Big Daddy Kane is dropping classics. KRS-One, BDP, they're dropping classics. EPMD, all of these dope, legendary hip-hop artists, are peaking in 88, the golden age. I'm killing the mic with that. And when it comes to the stage of the Grammys, what's being represented on the stage? Some of the wackest, most commercial, unlocked into the hip-hop culture rappers they can find. That's not the case anymore. So they're trying to shed some of that stigma of the Grammys not knowing what's really hot. And if they give it to Rhapsody, that's going even deeper beneath the surface. Because see, giving it to Kendrick Lamar was dope. For one, he deserved it. And two, for a conscious rapper to be cleaning up like that, it's pretty dope. But how can we go deeper? If they give it to Rhapsody, you don't get no better than that. That means she beat all males. She's the only female. She beat Tyler, the Creator. She beat Jay-Z. She beat Migos. And she beat Kendrick Lamar if she wins this. So if we betting, that's my dark horse, that she wins. And she cries and she's appreciative. And then people go listen to her music and they hear how dope she is and how positive she is. And she blows through the roof. And then she's bald-headed, looking like Papa Shango. That's Lauryn Hill. My bad. That's Lauryn Hill. But I don't wish that on anybody. But who knows? We'll see who wins now. And we got to kind of get through some of this. But the funny part is every time the Grammys puts out their nominations, the internet, the people, the hip-hop community go crazy because of their favorite artists who they felt got snubbed. You know what I'm saying? And I agree, in a lot of cases, there's some people who don't belong up there. Like the Migos album, I listened to it because I wanted to see if it was good. It's cool, but I really feel like it's just up there to represent the younger generation. Like, look, we got Migos. We got them. You know what I'm saying? Like Rhapsody is there for those women who want respectable female MCs up there. Jay-Z is there because, he's been putting it down for a long time and he doesn't always get recognized. Now he's the most recognized dude on the nominations. And Kendrick, you can't deny what he does. And who else was there? I think that was it, right? Yeah, that was it. So we can see, but there's so many people, so many albums that, and I'm gonna ramble through a couple that I feel that are the best of the year. One in particular, if you really want a Chance the Rapper one album that I have in my heavy rotation to this day that's well deserving of at least that category that's here. But some people were mad. Some people like, yo, that's why I don't watch the Grammys. Some people like, yo, chill. Yo, how Rhapsody get in there and Jay-Z album wasn't that hot. And we know. But there was one person who was really upset, and that was Q-Tip of A Tribe Called Quest. Remember, Tribe Called Quest came out with a first album in like close to 20 years. I think at the time it was 16 or 17 years since they released an album as a group. Phife had passed before it dropped. Once that album was coming, they had videos out. They did Saturday Night Live. They was on award shows. They were on the fast track to be nominated at this point in the Grammys and everywhere else. But A Tribe Called Quest is not nominated anywhere. You heard the list I read. A Tribe Called Quest isn't there at all. I think the album, which is called We Got It From Here, Thank You For Your Service, was, and which is their final album. Because with no Phife, I don't feel like anything that comes after that will be a Tribe Called Quest album. I felt like it was excellent. It was one of my top 5 of last year because I don't do the Grammy thing where, look, if your joint came out before the ball dropped, it's in 2016. That's how I feel. But their album released on November 28th. Oh, no, not November 28th. My bad. Their album released where it would be eligible to be in this year's Grammy nominations. And it wasn't. Not a single, not an album. Now, there's a couple of things to that may be playing into Q-Tip's rage. Well, let's get into Q-Tip's rage, and then I'll explain that. And he went to Instagram, and he went in. He went in, and here's a couple of quotes. Y'all think it's some sort of caveat because this is the first time that no white man is ever nominated in no major categories in Ish. We were the most black cultured group out. That's all we stood on. That's what we represented. This effing album that we just put out, this last Tribe album, it stands with everybody else's Ish that's up there. I don't give a F. And he went on. It's really good when you watch it. I'm just not hitting play because this is safe for work and safe for the kids. More from Q-Tip, I quote, respect to everybody who's nominated and all that, but whatever. I'm speaking for mine. Sick of y'all Grammys effing N-words, effing getting us to get out there and effing perform last year, because remember, the Tribe Called Quest was at the Grammys last year, and close that Ish, and y'all don't get us no effing nominations. Man, oh man, oh man. Now, I understand Q-Tip's frustration, right? Because it wasn't like when the Tribe Called Quest was coming out, they were begging to be everywhere. Everybody's enthusiasm on social media and all the fans from everywhere. It was like a movement. It was like a Tribe Called Quest week when that was happening. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. They was everywhere. I think I was watching performances in places I would never watch them. You know what I'm saying? They did Saturday Night Live with Dave Chappelle coming back for the first time. Like, it was huge. But I think he feel like they are snubbing the moment that A Tribe Called Quest had. And I kind of agree with him. That album was really good. That album was really good. It was the perfect closeout for A Tribe Called Quest. Especially, it was poetic. Phife is no longer here. Dude just crying, completing that album. It could have went wrong on so many levels, and it didn't. I skipped one track when I listened to that album. No offense to Talib, who has a dope album out now, but I skipped that. That's the only track I skipped. So I feel like Q-Tip has a point. Now, who would you take out? Well, I feel like Tyler the Creator's album, I mean, Sleep If You Want, I think it belongs there. I think it's pretty dope. I think Kendrick's album's pretty dope. You don't take that out. Migos, I know why they're there. So you can't take that out. You know what I'm saying? You just can't. But if you were going to take something out, album of the year, rap album of the year, you would take out either Jay-Z or Rhapsody. And probably, and maybe this is politics, but probably Rhapsody. Because even though I feel her album is good, I don't feel like that's her best work. I don't feel like amongst the albums that's there, it's better than a Tribe Called Quest. I don't think it can bump a Tribe Called Quest album. Jay-Z, I may be back and forth on, because I still like to listen to it, but I don't think the Rhapsody can bump that out the way. And Q-Tip was upset because I think there was a little politics there, that he was politicking and thinking, we gonna get this, we gonna do this award tour. How does the award tour, all these accolades for the album and this and that and the third, and it's not ending in award season with the biggest stage, which is the Grammys. So, I feel him on that. I feel him on his anger. Follow him on Instagram if you want to watch the video. It's called Q-Tip the Abstract. That's his name. Q-Tip the Abstract. He went in, man. And the whole time he went in, there was a woman in the back washing the dishes or something, and she ain't even flinched with all the cursing and anger. I guess she was like, he always yelling. So I don't know. But if you haven't heard the album, we got it from here. Thank you for your service. Social commentary in a Tribe album without sounding too far away from what we're accustomed to. What happened, Grammys? I know y'all feel like, damn, y'all feel like we don't never get it right. Because y'all don't. You can't play politics and try to, think musically. You got to think, what does the Grammys represent? Is it just the politic part? Or is it, both? And to me, this list that they have here sounds like it's both. But to not have, all right, this is the last thing on the Q-Tip thing. That De La Soul album, I didn't like that album. But it was nominated for a Grammy. And this Tribe album is way better. Way more energy behind this album and the movement behind it and all that. I know some of that was nostalgia for them not being out. And I know there are Tribe fans out there, some Tribe fans who don't like it or never heard it. Like my wife was kind of, and I was like, I can't believe this. You know what I'm saying? It was good. So I don't know. But lastly, real quick, 2017, which is not over yet. But we are winding down. We are in the fourth quarter. There's still probably some surprises to come. We know Eminem's album's coming. I try to count everything up until at least Christmas in my who's the best and what were the best albums. At the midway point in 2017, I did a podcast on the best of 2017 so far. And a lot of what's there really hasn't changed for me. A lot of that stuff is still in my heavy rotation. I listen to a lot of music, but there's only a couple of joints that I stick to that, when I hear them, I'm like, yep, I'm going to listen to this more than once or twice. So I'm going to just run through some. And if you want to check out that previous podcast, which is a little bit more detailed into why I like them, you can check it out at soundcloud.com/hiphopnow podcast. I still listen to Jay-Z's 444. Yes. Wasn't all hype for me. I liked it, and I especially liked the length. I think if it was any longer, I probably wouldn't like it. Big Crit, Forever is a Mighty Long Time, which is a double album from Big Crit. When I first heard it, I kind of blazed through it, didn't appreciate it. Second, third listen, this album's hot. Stop Sleeping. Joey Badass, All American Badass. I don't like when Joey Badass rhymes like he's Boot Camp Click from the early 90s, and he did that a lot when he first came out. But this album is where he stepped up, and I think is one of the most unappreciated albums of 2017. And I'll get into that later when I finally decide who's going to be my top 5. Royce the 5'9" mixtape, the Bar Exam 4. You like bars? This is it. Royce made my top 5 last year with his mixtape over his actual album. The mixtape Trust the Shooter was one of the best of last year, of 2016 for me. And Bar Exam 4, man, I don't know. It's made a case for 2017 and being one of the top for that. Big Boy's Boomy verse. I think that's how you say it. Boomer verse. Whatever. I like this joint. I like Big Boy albums. I just don't get crazy for them. But I like it. That's another good one from 2017. Obviously, Kendrick Lamar's Damn. I listened to it to death. I had to give myself a break because I was being a little bit too much of a fanatic. But yeah, I definitely feel like that is one of the best ones of the year. A new one that just kind of made my best of the year, or it's working its way into it. I won't say it made it, but it's definitely working its way into it. That's Fabulous and Jadakiss album, Friday on Elm Street, not Freddie versus Jason, Friday on Elm Street. I was pretty surprised with that album, and I really like it. A dude who I said should get that Chance the Rapper nod from the Grammys, but he didn't. Rhapsody got it, so it's cool. But that's Odyssey. He released an album called The Iceberg, and I listen to it damn near every week. Very close to every week. It's really good. You should check it out. Who knows? Maybe it'll make my top. Sean Price, Imperious Rex. Boom Bap. That's all I'm going to say. You want that gutter, you want that old Brooklyn, not this new-ish. Sean Price, Imperious Rex. The first record will already put you like, this is what this is. Pure boom bap. Rhapsody's album. I like that too. So I feel like that's one of the best of the year so far. Another one that's new that I feel like is right in that lane of good albums. Sci-Hi the Prince. No Dope on Sundays. Just dropped recently. It's been heavy rotation for me, fam. I don't know about y'all. What else we got here? Let's see if we can get through this. I like Cameron's The Program. You know what I'm saying? That's in consideration for the Hip Hop Now Awards when they happen. Talib Kweli's Radio Silence. I didn't think that was going to make it on my first and second listen. But then I had some time to really spend some time with it with no distractions, thinking about nothing else. And that album's really good. Rick Ross, Rather You Than Me. Really dope Rick Ross album. Really. People kind of forget because sometimes when stuff come out early, you forget. That album was really dope. Unless I'm forgetting, that didn't come out in 2016. Yeah, that came out this year. Really dope. Rock. You heard Ruck, Sean Price. Well, Rock released an album called Rockness AP. You thought Sean Price album was boom bap. This is more. And it's really dope. Wu-Tang Clan, The Saga Continues album, the compilation, the album that everybody thought it was, oh, Wu's back as a Wu album. No, it's really a compilation. I really like that. And mainly because there's a Wu sound there that's very familiar that I really like. What else is here? Let's see. Talib Kweli and Styles P, The 7. That came out this year. That was kind of dope. And Raekwon's The Wild. And Meek Mill's Wins and Losses. That album was hot. Don't Sleep. And lastly, Freddie Gibbs, You Only Live Twice, a EP that dropped earlier this year. So who's my top 5? I don't know yet. You'll find out when I find out closer to after Christmas when I drop a top 5 best of the year with a couple of honorable mentions. But those are, for me personally, the people that are competing for top 5 and honorable mentions, because I don't take honorable mentions lightly. So some of them will make it, some of them won't. Some people are going to release some stuff now that may just be like, yo, Gotta include this one. This was pretty dope too, because there was another one on here I didn't mention, OC and Apathy. They put out an album. That was pretty dope. A lot of people slept on that, so we'll see what's going to happen. But I want to know from you, what do you think about the Grammy nominations? Do you watch the Grammys? Do you care? Does it matter? You got your hip hop and that's all you care. Let me know. Leave your comments in the comment section below. You can follow me on social media at Vegas World INC. This podcast, Hip Hop Now Podcast, is available on iTunes, Google Play Music, Stitcher Radio, Podbean, TuneIn, and SoundCloud.com/Hip Hop Now Podcast. Until next time, y'all, I am not a critic. I'm a champion. Peace. Drop it on the random.